It's a clapper.
It is a clapper. Well, we're live now. We're in it. So hello and welcome to the Smoke and Seal podcast, episode 1. This time it's 1. I don't have to do the half episodes, 3/4 episodes. I recorded episode 7/8 today because I was waiting for the crew to show up to do, episode 1. So we're here, and I'm here with Mark, and he is one of the four of us that are going to be here on hopefully a regular basis. So hello and talk. You go.
All right. What do we talk about?
Get a little closer to the microphone.
Oh, God. How's this?
Perfect.
All right. How come I can't hear you?
You can't hear me?
Not through these.
Well, that's a problem. Oh,
that's much
how
better.
about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Too loud or good?
No, that's good.
My handy dandy. I forgot I had the mic volume turned down on a bunch of these since it was just me.
Waste not, want not. Let's get toasting.
So this episode really doesn't have any plan. It was just to
Impromptu.
impromptu is a great way of putting it. I haven't. I sent the text message. I'm waiting for an angry reply. Oh man! So
That's why we're doing it.
exactly why we're doing it. So it's just because I'm waiting to see that response and I want it to be captured in video. So we've known each other for how long?
4 or 5 years.
It's been longer than that, hasn't it? So we met when Tim owned Sir Stogies.
2018. Yeah, it has to be longer.
Was it 2018?
I think so.
I thought it was longer than that.
It might have been. It's been a long time.
So how did that come to be? How did you wind up going to that particular cigar shop?
Well, I didn't really start smoking cigars really until I was about 50, 49, 50. And we were driving past. I worked for a company at one time, and my partner and I were driving past Sir Stogies. And I said, he told me, we have 2 products in there. And I was like, oh, what is it? And he said, it's a cigar shop. And then I said, I'll have to try that sometime. And not much longer, my stepbrother had come up, and we used to get together with my stepfather while he was still alive, and the 3 of us would smoke a cigar and have a beer. And that'd be like once or twice a year, so I didn't really smoke cigars other than that. And then the first time I walked into the shop, I fell in love with it. It was beautiful. And I soon made it my home away from home. And it took off from there.
So I guess just to put a little bit of a spin on that. So the cigar shop was owned by Tim Miller and his wife Sandy, and the shop was opened up because Tim was retiring. It's kind of a strange thing to say, guys opening up a cigar shop to retire, but he had been working in maintenance for so long that he wanted to get out of it. So that shop was basically his retirement. And the beautiful thing about that shop was that Tim did all the work himself, all the wood wall paneling, the coffered ceilings, even down to refinishing the floor. That was all a labor of love from Tim during his retirement. And as the story goes, he wanted a place that he could just hang out with the guys and make a couple of bucks on the side while he was quote unquote retired. I mean, he was still working for Sandy. He was doing all the maintenance for the flag business that was on the second floor, but
Flags and banners.
yeah. But yeah, that was a beautiful shop. It was one of the more. It had kind of like an old world feel to it that you don't typically see.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
You walk into cigar shops now. There's a lot of glass display cases.
I've always said you usually see gray walls, black furniture. This place was, like you said, old world. Stuccoed walls in the inside, It's like textured, kind of, and gave you that old world feel.
Yeah, it was especially cool because at one point in time it was a cigar factory. It was years and years long before Tim ever took it. It transitioned to being a textile factory. My mother-in-law actually worked there making like t-shirts and underwear when she was like in her 20s or something like that. So I mean, the building's been around a long time. It's seen a lot of different business ventures, but cigar shop's the only one I ever knew.
And its origins were a cigar shop. So, manufacturing. Really impressive.
So when you started coming in there, where was that in the grand scheme of things? Because it changed a lot. Originally, there was no lounge in the back. It was just the front. It was just the storefront in the front. There was only one humidor.
I can tell you exactly when I came in, I had the opportunity to have one cigar with Tim alone. Nobody else was in the shop. I came in one day, probably a Saturday, before anybody got there, and I got to sit with him and talk and have a cigar. And then I think the next time I came in, he wasn't there, and the new owner was.
Oh, so you, yeah. Oh, you
So
were
it
like
was
right there on
there
that
at the
transition.
yes. Yeah. So it was interesting.
Yeah, it's a shame you didn't get to know Tim more. He was his whole thing was about building social, like a community within that shop, and
Yeah, yeah.
it
It
was
did seem like a big family.
yeah, it was loads of fun to go in there on a random Wednesday afternoon and just find the place full. I mean, I've talked to Jim about this lots of times, but people used to come in because they were afraid they would miss something. So no one wanted to hear the story secondhand, so they would just show up, making sure that they were part of it, because you never knew when a group of guys was going to turn up.
Right. Well, the next time I had come in, Tim wasn't there. The new owner wasn't in. And I think Josh was working there at the time because he opened up. And him and I sat and talked about everything for 3 hours. Total strangers, didn't know each other, but we really got to know each other in that 3 hours over a couple cigars. It was nice.
And that was pretty much the start of everything for you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you became a staple. I don't think there was ever a time when I walked in that shop that you weren't either already there or showed up
Shortly after.
later on
Yeah.
that evening.
Yeah, I think I was in there almost every day. Every day. Yeah. For several hours. Missed it.
I do miss it. It was a really nice place. I really like that family atmosphere. It was really cool.
And try as I may, it's hard to rekindle that with other people. You know, even though we've moved on and moved to another place, you still have the friendships, but they're not as close. They're not as tight.
Yeah, it's fun to reminisce. It was a great place in its heyday.
Yes. And I tried to tell guys, I said, okay, well, you don't have the memories you still have the memories of the old owner. I said, but now you got to move on and create new memories. And so I tried to keep guys on.
That's one thing about you that I really appreciate. You did a really bang up job, like keeping a core group of guys together. Because when I stopped going there, I don't know that I would have really. I mean, I did keep in touch with a handful of people, but it was different with you. We immediately started getting together somewhere else, and we've been hanging out pretty regularly for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, pretty routine.
Yeah. I mean, the years fly by so fast anymore, it's hard to remember how long ago it was. But whenever Tim sold that place, that's kind of where my roots were started there.
So you started smoking cigars in your 50s. Like, how did that shake out? Like, were you more into bundles then? Did you immediately sort of gravitate towards the boutique
No,
stuff? Did you
no.
have someone to guide you through that whole early process?
When my stepbrother and my stepfather and I would get together, I usually just reached for the Titanias or some type of flavored vanilla cigar, and I think when I first came into Stogies, I kind of gravitated towards the Blondie, and tried that for a little while. Then I tried a Padron, and that changed everything. I smoked that, and while I smoked it, I looked at it in awe. I mean, it was a very good cigar. And I don't think at that point I had had that kind of quality in a cigar. And I rarely smoke a flavored cigar now, ever. I just gravitated towards the Padrones. 1964s.
So what are you smoking mostly these days? Padrones are great cigars, but they're not easy on the wallet.
No. It just depends on the deals you can get.
Mm-hmm.
I have a mixture of cigars that I gravitate to. Like I said, Padrones are not wallet friendly, but I like Man of Wars, the Habanos. I really like them. It's a very cheap cigar, but I like the flavor of it. I like the Atabey, but I don't have Atabey money. You know what I mean? It's like, trying to think of what else I like. I like a lot of the stuff you like.
So for me, I have a tendency to gravitate towards certain manufacturers. For a long time, I smoked a lot of Oliva. It didn't matter what it was.
Oh yeah,
I really liked the V's. I liked the Melanios. Hell, I liked the Oliva Connecticut's. They were, and the G Maduros.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You name it, it was like right up my alley. Except for the Canes. I didn't like the Canes.
I never had that.
They were kind of like they were like all punch. I didn't not enough flavor, too much strength for me. I mean, that's how they were marketing. That's what they were supposed to be. And, they hit the nail on the head as far as that's concerned, but it just wasn't really up my flavor profile. A lot of the other stuff I do like, though. Just didn't really care for the straight-up Canes. I tend to sort of, gravitate towards specific manufacturers. These days, I really can't get enough of AJ Fernandez stuff. And he seems to make a lot of it. It's quite impressive when you see all of the stuff that he makes. And coincidentally, I just happen to like a lot of it.
I do as well. And I can appreciate your love for them.
I met him years ago at Cigar Fest. It was it was Man of War at the time. He had a booth set up. He had the girls with the small tops, well, big tops, but but he didn't speak a word of English, so you couldn't have a conversation with him. It was funny.
I haven't met many manufacturers, or owners, should I say. The ones I have met have all been nice. Getting to shoot pool with Eric Espinosa.
It's unfortunate. Ever since COVID, the interaction with just reps in general, and especially brand owners, you don't get the same level of interaction that you used to, 5 years ago.
Yeah. Nick Maiella was another one for shoot pool with. Couldn't beat either one of those guys.
To sync the cameras.
I love that. Clapper.
Well, the lawnmower man has passed, and I think maybe we can have a conversation without too much noise in the background. So to pick up where we left off, we were talking a little bit off camera as we were waiting for the lawnmower to go away. You had mentioned why you started going to the cigar shop in the first place. Not to double back too much, but
well, basically, like I said, I was close to my 50s, around 50, and I had one or two good friends in my life, and I wanted more. I wanted to do other things. So I thought a lot of guys hang out in the cigar shop, and that coincided with actually right around the time when my stepfather passed away. And when he passed away, his son, my stepbrother, came up, and we didn't have any cigars to smoke together. And I said, well, I know a place over in Gilbertsville we could go and get one, which was the shop. And he said, all right, well, let's go. And like I said, when I walked into that place, I fell in love with it, and I knew I was going to be a member. It took me several months later just to talk myself into spending that $200 a year to join it, which was actually very cheap. I should have done it sooner, but I wanted friends, and I got in there, and everybody took to me. I took to everybody, and it was a good place to find friendship.
I can relate. When so I had a couple of relatively close friends, but kind of grew apart once you have kids. So I really wasn't seeing the people that I used to see anymore. Yeah, I was kind of craving having an adult conversation because being around kids all day.
I'm still looking for that. Just so you know.
But that was kind of the driving factor behind going to the cigar shop, being, building friendships, having meaningful conversations instead of, like talking about a cartoon or something. And one of the really cool things about cigar shops is that they have a tendency to draw people from different walks of life. So one day you could be talking to a janitor, the next day you could be talking to a judge, the day after that you're talking to a cop. It's a huge mixing bowl of personalities and career paths, and it just makes for some really interesting conversation. It doesn't feel like you're in an echo chamber most of the time.
Yeah, it's true. I do like cartoons, by the way. But I know what you mean. It's a very broad field where a bunch of guys can get together and have one thing in common that they're all doing, no matter what walk of life they're walking.
Yeah, and our little friend group is pretty diverse too. I mean, we got a couple of guys that are retired. Talked to a couple of cops. I mean, there's
one guy going to be a cop.
Yeah,
who was a banker. One guy who
was really into trains.
Helped run a railroad, and then became a banker, and also worked on Rolls Royces and English cars.
And I got a background building cabinets.
There you go. I did cabinetry for a while. It's different, but we all have the cigar in common. Now, growing up, my father always smoked cigars, probably store-bought cigars. One of my regrets in life is that I never got a chance to have a cigar with him. He died when I was 21. He passed away. And just missed the window to have a cigar with him. And but that's why I didn't mind getting together with my stepfather and my stepbrother, and we did that.
So how did cigars come into the mix and all that? All just one day you decided, let's go have a cigar, or was one of them a cigar smoker?
My stepfather was the cigar smoker. My father was also a cigar smoker, and I had just seen that, and my stepbrother and I will carry on the tradition, just for tradition's sake, and I find it appealing.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate. I've had many, many cigars with my father. When I was a kid, he used to keep like Garcia Vegas in the glove box of his pickup truck, and that was pretty much the extent of any time I've ever. That was the only time I ever saw him smoke a cigar, and mostly he would just chew on the cigar while he was, driving back and forth to work. And then one day, a friend of mine just gave me a whole bunch of cigars. I coincidentally, I just recorded an episode where I tell this story, but I worked with a guy when I was building cabinets, and he got fired. We wound up getting pretty close, he got fired, unfortunately, and he started doing contracting on the side. He built this little business for himself where he was doing renovations, decks, just home repair sort of stuff. And he was putting a transom window in for this woman in like the Phoenixville area. And just out of the blue, she asked him if he liked cigars. Coincidentally, he did, and her husband had passed away a couple of years ago, so she gave him hundreds, if not thousands, of cigars in a trash bag.
What?
So he calls me up. I go over there. He gave me a Tupperware container full of cigars, probably about 50 Cuban cigars, domestically available. Like, we had no idea what we had. They were all dried out, but I brought them home. My dad sort of piqued his interest, and then we started smoking cigars at home. We'd smoke a cigar, drink a beer, shoot pool, that sort, and it became sort of a regular thing while I was living at home.
Yeah.
When I moved out, we started going to a place called Kensington Tobacconist up near the Reading Hospital, and we would hang out there together like every Friday. We would get done work early, meet up at the cigar shop, have a couple of cigars, and then kind of go on our own way. So it was kind of a weekly thing. I still get together with him to have a cigar from time. It's not frequent. It's not nearly as frequent as I'd like it to be, but we get together from time to time.
I actually do have to backtrack a little bit, because when I was in high school, when we would go out on the weekends, I would grab a box of Middleton cherries. That was my thing back then.
I would occasionally buy the box, the little 3-pack sort of they are of Swisher sweet cherries,
Yeah.
with the wood tip.
Yeah. I didn't do it as a habit or anything, but every once in a while I thought it was a good treat.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was like, the cool thing to do when you're a kid every once in a while, to go pick up some cigars and make an event out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, the Swishers never stuck.
Yeah, I tried to go back and have a Middleton cherry, and it just wasn't the same.
The closest I got to that years ago, Tim had he had an account with Villiger, and they sold him a box of these little Maduros. They were wrapped in paper. They were dry cured, and he had them sitting next to the cash register. And they were like $1 a piece or something like that. So I thought I'll try one of those little things. Terrible.
Surprised it didn't go up like flash paper.
It burned awfully fast, but they were pretty terrible. But every once in a while, I do go back to some of the cigars that I used to smoke years ago, and some of them live up to my memories, and some of them don't. Like I used to really like Sancho Panza Extra Fuertes. I haven't had one of those in years, but I did have one maybe a year or two ago. It wasn't a bad cigar. The La Flor de not La Flor Dominicanas, the La Glorias that I got with that Domino box.
Mm-hmm.
Those were cigars that I used to smoke back when I first got into cigars, and while they're not like mind blowing, they're pretty good cigars.
They are now.
They're 14 years old now, but I like revisiting some of those cigars that I used to enjoy in the past.
See, my thing is, since I started smoking cigars later in my life, every time I pick up a new cigar, I'll tell somebody about it, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, but they're not as good as they used to be."
Yeah, sometimes I feel like a know-it-all. Like we'll be sitting here and someone will mention, they'll ask a question about a cigar that they saw a picture of or something, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember when that cigar came out, and someone, and the owner was this, and he said that, and
Yeah. You have a good memory for that.
as I get older, it's starting to slip. I used to have a memory like a steel trap, not anymore.
Yeah. I was always good with names. Now I find myself
I've never been
going
good
through
with
the
names.
alphabet.
I've never been good with names. Even till this day, someone will introduce themselves and it will just blows right through my mind.
So this is a podcast, huh?
Yep, it's just kind of shooting the shit.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm really eager to see how it shakes out with the four of us, because I think there's going to be a lot of banter and back and forth, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Some swearing.
Probably a lot of swearing, depending who's here.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to Jim because he's a wealth of stories,
The Godfather.
and he's been smoking cigars for a really long time.
There's almost everyone in the industry.
Yeah, he's really well connected, and it's fun having conversations with him about like old reps for cigar companies because we have met a lot of the same people over the years. He's kept in touch with a lot of people, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah. What's that?
It's in New World. I've had him.
I mean, what's it doing? It looks like it's
just
tunneling or something.
It's just burning funny. It's been happening somewhat regularly. Like I typically get these by the box, and I would say of the 21 that come in the box, I'll have burn issues with 5 or 6 of them. It's a little unfortunate because this is kind of my go-to cigar.
Yes, it is.
But there are a lot of other ones that I really like too. The Trinidad's AJ also makes. They are pretty much the same price point, and I haven't had any issues with them. So I think I may be sort of shifting away from these New Worlds just because I haven't had any issues with the other ones.
Yeah, I think I have a number 2 in my box.
I don't remember which ones are which. The number 2 is what? I know there's a Maduro. There's
Let's see.
what is the other one? A Habano?
Yeah, one's a Habano.
And there's one more. There are 3, I believe.
No, I do not have it with me. But I know I like the number 2s. They're the green and kind of yellowish wrappers. And then the number 3s, I think, are the reddish wrappers.
I think
The bands, I'm sorry, the bands.
I think I may have a couple of number 3s left. Yeah, I got those for a steal from Cigar Page. They were a bundle of 20 was like $90, something like that. You really can't go wrong with a name like Trinidad. It's I don't know. It almost has like a mass market appeal to it, but I like them. They're good, solid cigars for the money.
Absolutely, absolutely. And every cigar manufacturer makes a lot of cigars, and you're not going to like every one of those cigars. The size and shape, length, it all matters.
Yeah, there are cigars where I only like them in one size, and I don't like a great example of that was the older La Aurora 107s. I only ever liked that cigar in the Corona. Did not care for any of the other sizes, but the Corona was a fantastic cigar.
Yeah, I like the old 107s as well. Then when the second batch came out, or the second time they released it, wasn't.
Then they came out with a Maduro, which I didn't really care for, which is strange because I typically gravitate towards Maduros. But that was one of those where I didn't really care for the Maduro option. But actually, now that I think of it, the Melanio was the same way. I like the regular Melanio a lot more than I like the Melanio Maduro. I really like the V Maduro, but I also like the V. And I like Lanceros. They're not really popular, but I like them. I like that format.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know the first Melanio I had, I was on the fence with. I wasn't even sure if I liked it. And Rob down in Phoenixville from Cigar Time, I guess it was. Cigar Time.
Yeah, Rob Pascuzzi.
Yeah.
Pascuzzi.
He said, try another one. He said, just try another one. And I did. And he was right. I don't know what I was thinking. It was good. And that was the natural, the Melanio V.
You know what makes them a whole lot better? Getting them for $5 a piece instead of 14. It makes all the difference in the world.
Yes. They taste a lot better.
So speaking of price point, where do you find yourself gravitating towards? Like average price, what do you think you spend per cigar?
I don't know. I'm not sure I can say with loved ones listening.
Well, I think the landscape has changed a lot because
absolutely.
What you buy at a brick and mortar shop tends to be a lot more expensive than what you buy
absolutely
online. And for a long time, I was perfectly good with paying that premium for the experience that you got when you were buying them at a local shop.
Correct.
But I find myself really wanting to be in the sub $10 range. I like being like $7, $8, $9. I think it's comfortable.
Yeah.
But that's very different from $7, $8, $9 at a cigar shop, because just the quality is night and day.
Yes, it's a little off.
Yeah, it's I'm not knocking brick and mortars. Realize they have to keep the lights on and all that, but
yeah, because I can't remember. I think at the time that Padron that I had mentioned, I think that was, I don't know, anywhere from $15 to $25 in that range. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was a great cigar.
That's a really hard sell for me. I struggle spending $25 on a cigar.
Yeah.
We've got a friend that doesn't bat an eye. But I really struggle spending that kind of money on a single cigar. There have been some really good $25 cigars. I really like the Padron. The little hammers, they run like $20, $25. They're really good.
Yeah.
Some of the Davidoffs are really expensive, but Davidoffs are really good.
But no burn issues. Burns evenly every time. No touch-up.
I can't say the same for my $5 New World. Been fighting with it a little bit.
Maybe that's one of the 5s.
It definitely is one of the 5.
This is actually burning faster than I thought it would.
Well, we're kind of in a wind tunnel. That doesn't help.
Yeah.
Got lots of fans going to keep it cool in the summertime.
Absolutely. And this is a great spot. It feels homey.
I'm partial because I live right over there.
Yeah. There is that.
But I do like it out here. I spend quite a bit of time sitting out here. I'll grab my laptop. I'll work out here. I'll have a cigar. Throw some darts. It's a really nice space. I like it. And I was really glad to hear that the guys liked hanging out here too.
Yeah.
They told me they liked it. I don't know what they told you after they left, but
I'm like you. I would love to have a space like this that I could have friends over. I just don't. I have a chair outside with no walls backing the wind. So you're dealing with the hot sun, cold days, just sitting there. I mean...
Yeah, before we moved here, I had a small deck out back, and I was at the mercy of the wind and the rain. And
oh, you had a deck?
Well, I wasn't sitting in the grass, but
Mr. Moneybags, you had a deck. I have a piece of driveway this wide.
But it's nice, like, getting out of the elements. You know, it's nice being able to come out here and have a cigar while it's raining.
Yes, absolutely. And believe it or not, I could go a month without smoking a cigar and it wouldn't bother me. Other than the camaraderie. But since these aren't, to me, addictive at all, I can put it down. Like if I'm sick, I don't need one. I don't smoke one. I can go a couple weeks without smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I've been in the same position where, well, I get burned out and I don't have a cigar for a week. Or if I get sick, I might not have a cigar for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I miss the social aspect of it, not so much the act of having.
But you
cigar.
don't feel withdrawal. You don't feel like, my hands have to do something. I don't get that.
Well, Mark, I think that's a good place to wrap this one up. I appreciate you bearing with me as we deal with lawnmowers and camera issues and all the other stuff. But I think this was a good exercise to work out some of the kinks.
Absolutely. I had no idea we were even going to do this.
Surprise! You showed up. The camera equipment was coming out.
Bing!
But yeah, it sounds like we're going to do this again on Tuesday, and we're going to have the whole crew out. That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Very good. Very good. Me too.
Well, folks, thanks you for watching,
Thank you.
and we will see you in the next one.